What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of The Takeover with myself, Flex, Mr. Anton, Ferdinand and Abby Summers. The season's over, but before we get into this week's show, Joel Bayer shook, didn't turn up just like his team's title race. He did not. Actually, well, he did, but he just didn't complete it. So he didn't complete the mission, mate. Exactly. So he's left us a message.
He didn't turn up like Saka, but Phil Foden did.
No comment.
I heard that Joel limped out of here yesterday.
Let's see what he has to say.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Joel Bayer, Arsenal fan, who are runners-up of the Premier League 2023-2024 season. Pressure FC, we almost did it. Bottle FC, whatever you want to call it. I just want to say I don't even think we bottled it this season. I think there's a few mishaps, as I like to say, certain games that we should have collected points, but we didn't. Dropped points at Fulham, Aston Villa twice. Those are 2 L's. And of course, West Ham, not good games. I'm not buying this garbage about, you should have beat City. They were there for the taking. Listen, no one beats City over there. No one does in the Premier League anyway. I'm looking down the barrel, the lens of camera 4 because I promised to show my face this week. Look, I didn't want to do it next to Abby or Flex shouldn't even be talking anyway, or Anton. But I thought, you know what, let me just stick to my word and you are going to see me sitting here. But I'm doing it in my own way. What do I think? I think we're getting closer to Man City. I really do. I think 115 charges do need to be checked because this is getting ridiculous now. I don't mind studying as a lawyer just to prove our innocence and their guiltiness. So yeah, I just think, we're getting closer and closer and we just got to keep going because in Arteta we trust. Forget what I said a few years ago. I'm Arteta in now.
In Arteta we trust.
In Arteta we trust.
He's honestly got away with that.
And he said, forget what I said.
Forget what before. I said about, trust Arteta out and trust the process. It's now trust the progress and all this absolute bollocks. But he did say he'd come here. He said he'd looked down camera 4. He hasn't. Shout out to Joel for doing the message, but it wasn't really what we had planned, was it?
And he said he didn't want to do it with us.
Exactly. It wasn't a take-on flow. Take-on flow, you come on, you look down camera.
He didn't hold it. Didn't hold it.
But he does have a point. They didn't bottle it. They didn't bottle
the league this year. They didn't bottle the league this year. They did bottle every other competition though. Let's not sleep on that because they went out of all the other competitions. Bigger fish to fry.
They bottled it against Bayern.
Well, not necessarily Bayern, but what about FA Cup? What about Carabao Cup? There's 4 trophies on offer here. Not asking them to necessarily go and win the Premier League or the Champions League. That's a big ask. But an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, we're dialing off of 1 FA Cup for Mikel Arteta in 5 years. They spent an awful lot of money. So I'm not letting them get away with that. And before Arsenal fans then say, well, what have you won? This ain't about Spurs, camera 4. This is not about Spurs. This is about Arsenal. And this is about what has Mikel Arteta done other than 1 FA Cup. You're not counting Community Shield either in 5 years. We need to hold that accountable.
So
putting the pressure on.
It's progress.
But listen, when Pochettino was doing it with Spurs, when we hadn't spent any money in various transfer windows and all of that,
but they've won something
and get into a Champions League final. But we put the pressure on in terms of the league, in terms of the league itself. They're just Spurs. They're just putting the pressure on. They've just taken that trophy off us. Congratulations, you just put the pressure on FC. Over to you guys.
Boy,
well, you say Arsenal narrative start. FC. I mean, Abby obviously is a Spurs fan, so she's always going to cuss Arsenal.
Strong start.
Yeah.
But just before we move on to the England squad, and has she got a point there, or is that harsh?
I think she has points.
Thank you.
I think it's slightly harsh, but she has points for sure. I think Rodri hit the nail on the head. They came to the Etihad.
Come on.
For no, the difference was mentality.
But they beat them at their place. They got 4. I'd see didn't even beat them this season. They got 3 points on one, and no one wins at the Etihad.
I get that's what I'm saying.
I can't believe I'm defending Arsenal here.
But that's what he's saying. You beat us at Emirates, and you came to Etihad for a draw.
Come with chest.
And you came with.
That's not why they didn't.
But he's saying the difference in the 2 teams was mentality, not the way we played. Openly saying that.
But they can't say that. They didn't even get a point off Arsenal.
City,
well, they only got 1 point.
City was injury hit when they went to the Etihad, right? I'm not saying they were there for the taking. Because City never. Yeah, sorry, was not saying they were there for the taking, but they had injuries and the right mentality. You might capitalise on it.
A lot of caveats. There's a lot of Arsenal bias.
I'm not saying that's the reason they lost the league, right? I'm not. There's other various factors.
They lost the league because they didn't win. They didn't win the games they needed. Yeah.
You have to be perfect, and sometimes that even stops you. Look at Liverpool, 97 points, and they didn't win the league.
Did you cuss Liverpool like this when they nearly?
They're not my rivals. They're not my North London rivals. So, I mean...
I do think they're getting closer.
They are
Arsenal
getting
are
closer.
definitely getting closer.
Yeah.
But it's how long...
Can they stay close?
How long are the fans going to tolerate progression?
Trust them.
That's what it's going to come down to.
I think for the next good few seasons, I think they will.
But you never know with
Couple
what
of
you.
seasons.
But you just never know with the way football is and the way the Premier League is. They might start bad next year.
You know
Yeah,
what?
no, if it drops off,
Like, do
then
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's a
Like, this is
regression,
the thing. Like, so okay, well,
Okay.
like you've got to this point, you progress, you've done well, you put pressure on. But if you in the first 10 games, if you're not hitting the ground running like you did this year, what are the fans? What
Yeah,
what are
eyebrows are
they
going to
saying?
raise. Eyebrows are going to raise.
Of course
They have to keep up this
And
momentum.
also,
100%.
it's not just that. Like, I really feel that point is valid. I'm not just coming because it's Arteta and Arsenal, but that
Sounds
is
like
one
you are.
FA. Well, maybe it's a bit, but one FA Cup in 5 years, right? So yes, they're putting the pressure on. Yes, they're getting closer. Yes, they play lovely football.
Hold a minute, hold a
I can
minute,
hold it.
hold-
It's not about
hold a
Spurs. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my
Okay,
point.
I'll
They
let you
spent
land.
a lot of money, right? So they're getting closer. But what happens if next year they're in the same position again? Because you do not get a trophy for coming top 4 or finishing second. You have to have like at Liverpool.
against the City side,
Liverpool
Abby,
had
you
some.
can't just-
Liverpool
it's
had a
hard.
Champions
They've won
League,
4 in a
FA
row.
Cups, League Cups. And a Premier League to show for that, and
they're
they
knocking
still
on the
only won one
door.
in that time. But you can't just keep knocking on the door. You need to actually
But
have
you
something.
can, yeah, of course.
I'm
but
not saying
you
the
have
Premier
to be
League.
there, be present.
Not just the Premier League.
But here's
win
this,
a,
but
win
here's
a
the thing.
Carabao Cup,
Right,
win an FA Cup.
Because here's the thing.
Why?
Now. I'm actually defending Arsenal. I can't believe this.
What
Here's
have
what
you done?
here's what will happen.
What would I
if
have?
Arsenal
What
win
have you
if
done?
Arsenal win the Carabao Cup,
Rattled
yeah,
him apparently.
If Arsenal win the Carabao Cup after knocking on the door for the Premier League, there is no chance in hell. One, their fans will be happy because they won't, and two, people like you from outside their fan base and other people will go, well, you know, he's got another trophy. He's got Carabao Cup under his belt. So you're not going to say that. You're going to say Carabao Cup's eat that thing. FA Cups, they're the king of the FA Cups. They've done it. For Arsenal, the next step is Champions League, which they've never done before, and Premier League. Like,
Yeah.
those
Have
are the
you
ones that
spent
the fans want.
Have you spent a lot of money, Abby?
Yeah, we've spent money.
Okay.
We've definitely spent money, but we haven't spent the same money as Arsenal have spent.
What have you got to show for
And
it?
also, we've had multiple different managers in that time.
He said, what have we got to show for it?
What we've got to show for it? Just, you know, Europa League and that. Listen,
Audi
that
Cup?
theme tune bangs, does it not? It does.
I made a song to it and we was in it, so yeah.
No, it's nice.
Okay, well, there's enough Arsenal hate. I tried to bring a little bit of balance because it seems
Did you?
like these two.
Did you really?
Yeah, you
Why
lot
you
just-
don't
you're
these
cussing
two
off
me?
us. Well,
No.
more so Abby than
Abby,
you was a
don't
bit.
these-
Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's get to the England squad, man. Let's get to that because obviously there was a big exclusion. Well, if you count Henderson as well, but the main one is obviously Marcus Rashford in what's likely to be Gareth, Southgate's final tournament for England. What did you make of Rashford being left out, Anton?
Was I surprised? I was a little bit on the simple fact that we've got a manager who always goes back to the tried and tested, and so Marcus for the lack of ability that he's had, and not a lack of ability, lack of form that he's had this year. When he plays for England, he always does something, But I think his lack of form this year has been just too much. So although I was surprised,
Do you agree with it?
I agree with it massively because how else is he going to learn that you can't be like this? Sometimes you got to feel pain to learn, and I don't wish pain on anyone. Let's put that out there straight away.
Football
But
terms.
in terms of
Yeah.
football, sometimes rejection brings the best out of somebody. And I hope that for his sake, for Man United's sake and for his sake, this shakes him up enough to go, I need to go back to the drawing board and I need to sort myself out. Like he did a year ago, or 2 years ago, sorry, then he came back and scored hella goals. But I think hopefully the hurt from not being in this squad, which, imagine if they go and win it now, and he's not part of it. Imagine.
Yeah, it's peak.
Do you know what I mean? It's nuts.
Yeah.
I could have had my name in history. Now my man's not involved. All because, and my opinion, all because of his work ethic. Because you can have as much ability as you want, but when you got man just going past you and you're jogging, that is telling. Especially for someone like Gareth Southgate, who, as an England manager, we know wants people who are there for the cause. Not individuality, they're there for the cause. And I saw too much of this is about Marcus Rashford rather than Manchester United this season.
Yeah. For me, for Rashford, he doesn't have anyone to blame but himself for this. And you don't want to see an academy graduate go through that. You don't want to see the guy who's supposed to be the guy go through that. But this is make or break for Marcus Rashford. Also, in the lead up to this FA Cup final, Erik ten Hag's looking at this going, well, he hasn't really had the minutes going into it. He's had maximum heartbreak now where he's now not in the team for the England squad, not going to be at the Euros. Does Erik ten Hag trust him to even start from the start against Manchester City at Wembley? So Marcus Rashford could find himself out of the Manchester United starting 11, which looks quite likely at this point, not going to the Euros. And Marcus has to say, this is choice point for me. I'm in my prime. I'm not on my way up. I'm not up and coming. I'm not learning the game. This is where he's supposed to be in his prime. And he's regressing. Now, only Marcus knows why. We don't know. Like, there's been things off the pitch. We can clearly see on the pitch he hasn't been at it. And this is the biggest challenge of his career.
I think the biggest... He
either rises from this, and this was one of the best turnarounds we've ever seen from where he was, or dare I say, I think this could be where we go. It could be, if he doesn't rise from it, go... Remember when Rashford used to get in England teams? Remember when Rashford was the main man at Man United? Remember when?
Yeah.
And only Marcus Rashford can change that. And that's what's really sad about this. But he only has himself to blame. His form hasn't been good enough. You can push back on Gareth Southgate and say, you used to pick Maguire and his form wasn't good. You know, and I get those little things. But in terms of the wake-up call for Marcus Rashford, the player, the brand, the man, he needs this.
My question is it as much as we like to say it should be a big wake-up call, the question is, will it be?
Yeah.
That's the biggest question.
What do you think, Abby? Do you think this is something that will shock him to go, wow, like I'm actually not in it?
I mean, I think it should. I firstly want to actually give credit to Gareth Southgate, right? Because I feel like everyone gets on his case a lot. We've got on his case. And, you know, that's for picking, you know, people based on historic things they've done for England. And I rate him, and I've actually looked at that and saying, do you know what, good on him, because he's not picked people necessarily on form. Jordan Henderson, who he absolutely loved and adored, is not in the squad. Marcus Rashford is not in the squad. Raheem Sterling, whatever, he's had not a great season, but who's always been, you know, clutch for England.
But when you look at numbers, his numbers are better than Jack Grealish's.
Yeah, but there is so much. But in terms, but Sterling's not a surprise to me, because Sterling's been out of the squad for quite some time now, so that's not a surprise. The Marcus Rashford one is a big call, right? Because that is someone that has always stepped up for England. But he's absolutely right to not pick him, because based on this season, we've got too much talent on that side of the pitch anyway. I don't want Marcus Rashford to go over someone else that should be there and has earned the right to go and to play for England and has done that all season long.
I would have took Sterling over Grealish though, personally.
But I think based on this season, you still necessarily wouldn't. I haven't seen enough from Raheem Sterling this season.
Grealish has been rubbish this year as well.
Grealish hasn't been great. But in terms of the
what...
people that are getting more minutes and more time on the pitch, that would be Grealish all day long. But I just wanted to, just to say on Marcus Rashford, that this should be the turning point for him. He should be looking at that game this weekend and saying, right, okay, I'm not in this England squad. Let's set the tone now. Let's get my backup is backed up after being not selected, right? I'm going to come and put on a performance this weekend when I'm given the opportunity, if Ten Hag allows it. And I'm going to prove to everybody and show Gareth Southgate saying, no, you don't drop me from a major tournament. This is my time. Whether or not he does that is a different thing. That's the mentality side of it. But that's what I would be doing if I was Marcus Rashford and saying, okay, I'm not in this one. I'm going to make sure that for 2026, I'm in America.
And that's the thing that worries me, if I'm being 100% honest, Anton, Abby, and you guys at home, like, I hope I'm wrong on this.
Does he have the capacity to do it?
I don't look at it and think, Wembley, watch what he does.
Nah.
I don't feel that.
But then he has done that before. Every time a media outlet's called him out or the fans have called him out, he's stood there and gone like that after he's put it in the back of the net. So he has got that in him. And he says in the Players' Tribune interview, he said, when my back's against the wall, that's when... But it shouldn't be when your back's against the wall. Exactly. It should be you're playing for your club, the badge, the England setup. You need that every game, because you can't just rest on your name is Marcus Rashford and you should be picked because of that. Because I'm proud, actually, of Gareth Southgate for not doing that.
And in the presser, I thought he might, because he hasn't been playing as much minutes at Man United.
He got
injured. He got injured against Coventry. Then he missed quite a few games, and he only come back against Newcastle and Brighton, which are two close games, about 3 days apart. But he only got like 10 minutes against Newcastle or something like that. So I thought, Brighton will start. Then he didn't. Only got like 10 minutes, 10, 15 against them, and I went, "Oh, this ain't really great prep for the final." Then I thought Gareth might be like, "Oh yeah, he just come back." He went, "No, there's just players in that position who I felt had better seasons."
Which is
it's
true.
as simple as that. Yeah. And that is actually refreshing to hear. On the positives though, my boy Kobbie Mainoo's in there.
Yeah, big
I'm
up.
not saying it's a surprise and stuff, but in terms of him and some other players, I don't want to just make it about Kobe. Eze's in there.
Adam
Wharton's in there. He's done really well. Curtis Jones just got in.
Jarrell Quansah.
Yep. We know there's going to be a lot to be cut. You got a Brantford in there, Quansah, Gordon.
By the way, for the way that Gareth Southgate likes to play, Mainu starts, you know.
A lot of people have been saying that.
You know
I
that
don't
when
think
you
so.
look at the midfielders here, Trent Alexander, Conor Gallagher, Curtis Jones, Kobe Mainu, Declan Rice.
They've put Trent as a midfielder as well. Interesting.
Yeah.
And Adam Wharton. Listen, let's have it right. For the way Gareth Southgate likes to set up, I know Jude's in the forwards bit, but when you look at midfielders, he's going there with Declan and Kobe.
It has to. I think it's Mainu, Rice, Bellingham.
What
is
about
our
Trent?
best
Is Trent
three.
could we maybe see Gareth really push it? Like no
Maybe.
one's talking about Trent, and England do have it as is a midfielder.
I know,
Could we just see that from nowhere? Trent, Rice, Bellingham.
I think that depends how far we go in the tournament.
That ain't
I don't
bad,
think
is
that's
it?
something that we start.
That ain't bad at all.
No, of course not. Trent in midfield's unreal. I just don't necessarily think that's where we start. Like, I think if we're going to... I don't even know if he'll start Kobe Mainu.
No.
But, like, I feel like as a midfield three,
think
what
he
you
will.
should be starting is Rice, Mainu, Bellingham. That would be my pick for it.
I'll be honest with you. Eze needs to be in that squad as well.
The final squad.
He's got something different.
Yeah,
so sick.
he's sick.
He's got something
What about
different.
Jarrod Bowen?
100% he's got to go.
Okay.
Of course he has. Of course he goes. Madison.
He ain't better than
I
no
had
one.
to make it about
I
Madison.
tell you what,
Let's
Madison's
make
been a
that
bit.
Madison's
he's
lucky.
been a bit leaving.
He might get cut.
He's been a bit leaving, innit?
He might get cut.
He might. I don't know. He might get cut.
You see with Saka, yeah? I'm just going to throw a question out there.
Throw it.
Is there a chance that because of Foden / Palmer, he might not start on the right? Or is that unthinkable? And the left-hand side, is that unthinkable?
I think he starts.
And I'm not saying he should, because I do think he should
No, it's
start.
unthinkable.
I
So
think that's
Foden either in the 10 or the left,
Yeah.
and obviously
The reason
Palmer
why
won't start.
Jarrod Bowen goes for me, is because he can play across all of the three. Do you know what I mean? Like he can play across all of the three. He played as a 9 for West Ham this year.
I mean,
and
so
done
can Cole
really well.
Palmer.
Not the way Jarrod done it though.
And Andy Gordon's on the left
As a 9.
as well.
Look, there is so much talent there.
Yeah.
It's one, and obviously
Well,
there's.
not mentioning James Madison though.
He loves it. He loves it.
Look, I actually do think Madison will go. I don't think he'll start, but
For who? For where? For what? For who? For where?
what do you mean for who? For when?
For
For
who, for
where?
when, for what,
For
for
England in Germany. I think. I don't think he'll
to
start.
play in the 10.
I don't think he'll start, but I think he goes.
He definitely ain't starting. Yeah.
He's definitely not starting. He probably won't get any minutes.
You got to remember.
I think he
You got to
goes.
remember.
I think he goes.
Foden.
He won't get no minutes, yeah.
He's not going. I don't think.
You don't think he goes?
I don't think
For
he
me,
goes.
Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer should
I
start.
think Palmer's going to edge him.
But I don't think he'll start. I think Cole Palmer, this tournament, we will see him break out, but like off the bench.
I think
You're taking one of the
Madison's
two.
going to fall short.
If it goes down to,
All right, so who are we cutting then?
If it
Like,
goes down
who
to
we cutting?
Jarrod and Madison, who are you taking?
I think he takes Madison.
That's a good question.
I think Jarrod goes.
I think he takes Madison.
I think Jarrod goes. Jarrod works
Kevin
harder than him.
Bet.
Jarrod works
Bet on
harder
it.
than him.
I know the amount I'm betting
He
this
works
week.
harder than Madison and plays more positions than Madison.
I
by the way.
think Gareth picks Madison. That's just my opinion.
Going Bowen over Madison.
Got to be Bowen.
Okay,
more.
but I'm not disputing
Okay.
that.
Would it be the first time?
I might prefer Jarrod Bowen over Madison
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
But
You
I
do.
think
Time out.
Gareth
Time
goes
out.
Madison.
Camera
These two.
4.
That's not
Ridiculous.
as camera 1.
Okay, sorry. Camera 1. Off camera, she prefers Jarrod.
It wasn't even
Just
off. I just said it on. Camera 4. If I had a
Right,
pick,
time
I'd pick
out.
Jarrod
Time
Bowen.
out. One last question so we can move on.
Yes.
Will England win the Euros?
TBC. I think that they have enough talent to, but I'm
We're
not
busting a flex right now on the fence.
flip-flop. No, look, they have more than enough talent to. When I look at that squad, I'm like, that we are just blessed with talent. It's just...
I can't look past France.
yeah, I think for me, it's the French team because I feel like our weakest area is still probably at the back.
I think even Portugal do.
And
as well. That team's sick.
I think when you look at that French team, like just insane in all aspects of it. But Portugal, also like we shouldn't really write off Germany. It's a
No
home
way.
tournament.
100%.
A new
And-
look,
and-
young Germany.
And Tony Cruz's last
Yep.
Last
involvement
dance.
in football.
Yeah. Do you
His
think
last
England will win?
dance. I think we've got a great chance. Just looking at
Yeah.
the squad, I think we've got a great chance. It's just how we differ in the bigger games. We ain't got a good record against bigger teams
Nah.
under Gareth.
Struggle.
You know, and I think for us to win them big games, you have to be a bit more daring, you know, and come away from his defensive personnel, because I don't think we play a defensive style. 3-4-3 is not defensive.
But don't you think that squad is coming away from it? I feel like that squad has got not that much. I mean, a bar, I guess, Mainu Rice. Like, it's not a particularly defensive squad. There is so much.
Yeah. There's enough there. There's more than enough ingredients, whichever way around he puts it.
There's so much there that, this is a lot more
that.
front foot than we've seen Gareth be for
100%.
seasons.
Well, let's wait to see who starts and how they play.
Well, how they play, yeah. How they play is a different thing. But in terms of the personnel, this is a
out of the defenders, who goes?
Defenders.
Yeah,
I think Kwanzaa will get cut. I think Gahey will get cut. I think Dunk will get cut.
So you think Kwanzaa will get cut? Did you say?
No, actually, no.
Oh, Jarrell Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa, yeah. I think, yeah, so Walker, Trippier,
Dunk.
Stones will obviously be there. Dunk will
gets
go.
cut.
He's lucky he's even getting this. Luke Shaw, he'll get cut because he can't prove best
It's
proof
going
to
to be
fitness.
Trippier on that side anyway.
Yeah. But then you have to keep Gomez because he can play left back or right back.
But I can't see how.
Tariq Mitchell.
I would have taken. I would have put him in this squad.
I mean, it would have been good to have someone actually.
Because Gomez, yeah, but he's still got to be up to. You can't just put him there because he got to be. He has to be sure he's at the
in
level,
terms of including in the squad, I think that probably would have been smarter to do over.
Got Joe Gomez there. He played left back loads.
Yeah, no, Joe Gomez isn't. For me, like the
And
little.
Trippier's more experienced. He's going to go Trippier all day.
But nowadays, you know, people like balancing their team.
Yeah,
Do you know
I think
what I mean?
it's easy to have. Like, it would make sense to have someone who is left-footed on that side.
Yeah,
Just
but
as
it's
an
got to fit the
option.
system. It's
Just
got
as
to fit. It can't just be
Yeah, but
because
just as an
it's his
option.
natural
Okay,
position.
tell me what Lewis Dunk's there for.
No, he'll be out. That's what I'm saying.
But what's the point of the call-up? Might as well have called up.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, but then what I'm saying is Tariq Mitchell won't make it through to the final thing.
Okay, but then what's the point of Lewis Dunk being there? At least call up someone that can play on the left and
Gareth
his
did
left foot.
say we need to have a look at some of these.
But he always lies. He always lies in that. Which is why it's not consistent. The Rashford thing, we're praising him, but then we're saying Grealish shouldn't even be there.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean? But, okay,
it's hard.
cool. Let's move on to Pochettino getting sacked last night.
Yeah, wild.
I mean,
Life comes at you
celebrations
Life
on
comes
the
at you
white
fast.
side of North London.
There were celebrations over there.
And on the blue side of London as well.
Some blues,
Some on
yeah.
the blue side of London.
Did he deserve to get the sack?
No, he actually didn't deserve to get sacked.
Well,
which is the funniest.
actually, he didn't get sacked. They left by
On mutual consent.
consent.
No, it's actually funny because if you look at how Chelsea have been since the turn of the year, I think their form was actually top 4, right? And they had a hella injuries, like a hella lot of injuries. So I feel like they were clicking at the right time, which is why I'm even more happy. I'm the happiest right now that they've said nah. Bye, because I know how good Mauricio Pochettino can be with a young squad and given time. And the last kind of like 5-6 games of watching Chelsea, yeah, okay, they haven't been great, but they've been better. I see what he was trying to do there. And I'm glad that he's no longer going to be there. So all is forgiven on that side of things. Like, if you ever want to come home, you can come home after Ange.
Whoa.
No.
What about a little mix up now? A little bit of a...
No, what if they want to do co-coaching?
Swap over. No, swap over.
No.
Let Ange go Chelsea.
No, thank you.
You can have Poch back.
We're good with Ange right now. I know what you both... Stop fishing. Last night, the pair of you, leave me alone,
Well,
okay?
For this one,
You've been very frustrated with Ange
You will not find
recently.
one receipt where I said Ange out. I just said, it's all forgiven. You went in. You haven't done a good job. Didn't win nothing. Look, it hurt. You never kissed the badge. You kept working for Spurs in that year as well.
Yeah.
So we're all good. Like, it's all gravy. It's all fine.
I
You can
swear he
come home.
patted the badge though.
Yeah, but it was more like a peace out, I'm going. It wasn't anything.
Usher,
It wasn't anything
down.
serious. I don't think he actually did deserve to get sacked, but I think Chelsea is just such a shit show. I don't know who would want to take that job, and they are worlds away from the Chelsea that we have known them to be and kind of grown from when Roman came in. Obviously, they don't have that same ownership, but they used to be able to go and take any manager they want, like just go and pick someone from Madrid or Barca or whatever. They're now looking at Kieran McKenna, who is a great manager. And if I was Kieran McKenna, I wouldn't be going anywhere. I'd say absolutely not. I'm staying at Ipswich. I am
could do
not
all right at
going.
Brighton, though.
Yeah, but at Brighton maybe, but I'd still. I think
Stay away from Chelsea.
I would stay clear from
too
Chelsea
unstable.
and what is going on there, because that is just not a place you want to be. And I'm actually happy for Poch that he's mutually chosen to walk away.
So you're taking back at Spurs then now?
At some point, at some day, if you want to come back or do like a pitch interview at halftime, come back.
Would you have taken him over Lopetegui?
Lopetegui ain't been confirmed.
Has he still not?
Nope, not been confirmed.
Yeah.
Since he hasn't, would you have a
ain't
little
looking
look,
at you.
would you have a look at Poch and go, I'll tell you what, let's have a look over there.
Yeah.
So and if he's not been, like as I say, he's not been confirmed, I think. So you have to look at Poch.
Yeah.
What a manager.
Do you think he's still? Because there's this thing now. Actually,
Stock's not as high.
the stock's not as high.
No.
He's come back to
What he's
England,
done- no,
bottled
no,
the final.
no.
You
What
know,
he's
it's
done-
still
He's
just
managed to get this
pot-string.
Chelsea side
what
to
he's done.
even some form of European
Yeah.
Do
football,
you know
right?
what? It
This
tells
is
you?
mad.
Do you know what it tells you? He is a man manager.
Yeah.
He cold with it.
So he showed it this year. You think still got
Of
it?
course he has. Look how many players they've got. Look how many different egos he's had to deal with, by the way.
And they're sad he's leaving.
And they're vexed. Exactly, they're vexed that he's leaving. And by the way, from nearly a disastrous season, where we know Chelsea fans are unforgiving and they're impatient because of all the success that they've had. He's been able to battle that off, keep players on side, and by the way, take them from page 2 to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That if that don't show you that lad's team buying to him, that's what he's telling you.
And with a bit more time, you can see they were
There was
starting
progress.
to.
100%,
They
it's
was
nuts.
starting, like they was
It's
starting to
nuts.
cook something.
Would you take him at Man United now?
I did want him just before with
Yeah.
the Eric. I was like, But then you know what?
Your characters need someone like him.
Yeah, but
I
do you
think
know
he's
what
a good
though?
fit for United.
Do you know
So
what
do
though?
I.
When I look at
Good
it,
fit.
I actually see a lot of parallels though with him and Ten Hag though.
Not
Do you know
they're
why? Do you know why? Do you know why? When
Different.
you like different, yeah, like with the mannerism, I get that. But when you actually look at the body of work and what's happened this respective seasons, yeah, you've got like they've the Champions League thing. All right, Poch beat him in the Champions League, then went on to lose it. He's won cups. He won the cup in Liga. Won the league, PSG, you're meant to do that. Eric's won it at Ajax, you're meant to do that. It's about par.
Okay.
They've come in this respect where they've come to England. Look at what he's done with Chelsea. Loads of injuries, like Eric Ten Hag had. Looking at games for 33 games, let's not get it twisted.
No, they were dead.
We're looking at Chelsea.
I'm not disputing that.
Hang on, looking at Chelsea going, well, there's no style of play. What is going on? And then for the last few games, he's made some tactical tweaks after being stubborn the whole time. And then all of a sudden, they look a bit, they're getting a couple. So actually, you can just literally take the name tag out
Well,
and
what-
swap them and
but-
go, actually, there's not really much
Go
in
on,
it.
you
I
go.
get that.
And watch this one. They both went to Carabao Cup finals, mate. One against Kids, yeah, where Poch couldn't get it done. Lost. Man United, first season, went final, won it. 2 FA Cup finals in a row. There's not when you just take the names of
Okay,
just it's
okay.
Poch, it's Poch.
let
It's
me
not
let
that.
me put it to you like this.
It's
then.
not about the name.
Let me put
Go
it
on,
to you
you
like
go.
this.
Go on.
You go.
You've now got a new regime. You've got a new
That's
infrastructure.
another thing why I don't think it'll work.
New
as well.
infrastructure. Ratcliffe has come out and said he wants to produce younger players rather than going and buying them. Yeah. Pochettino is tops with the young players. Yeah.
No, we didn't necessarily say that's our model, though.
given time.
He said we want to find the next Mbappe and that, the next
course,
dude,
but
not necessarily they're all
You
kids
want-
like Chelsea. That's
but
not
what
our
I'm
model.
saying is, but what
This
I'm
is
saying
why it's better.
you guys want stability in your football club.
Yep.
You want a manager who's going to be there for the next 5.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I'm taking Poch.
He didn't even want to know
100%.
because also what people forget about Ineos is that they're also doing this thing of like, we're going to establish our style of play. We're going to tell the manager what that is.
Okay.
He didn't even want a set piece coach and Todd Bowley wanted them to have it like,
Oh, so
he might not.
Just a side note. So when Poch doesn't want a set piece coach, that's fine. But when Ange doesn't want one, I'm
No,
wrong for that.
I didn't say
I
you're
should
wrong for
back
that.
Ange.
What I'm saying
Sorry,
is
just
at our club,
just
when
hear
we're
what you're saying
changing,
there.
he might not fit with what Ineos want to do.
Maybe not.
Like he said, I have to be happy too.
But
There's a lot of
I
parallels.
do feel like
it's not over gas Poch.
I'm not overgassing
But I do
it
like
at
him.
all.
He's a good
I
manager.
think that he always would have been I've always felt he would have been a far better fit for United than he
it's too
ever
late
would
now, though.
for Chelsea.
Can your club
and I
get
said this.
someone
I said
better
this to
than Poch,
you.
though?
I said this to you before Ten Hag. No, I said this to you before Ten Hag. I felt that Poch would be
yeah.
a good
Yeah,
fit
no,
for
and I
you.
thought that. I
and
thought
I
that
think
as
that okay, with your new regime, if that is what they're doing and they're taking the power off of the coach and the manager,
Which
that's
they
probably
are.
not going to work because
Yeah.
he didn't like that at Tottenham, but they had a
Exactly.
decent enough relationship, him and Daniel Levy, and that's not what he wanted in any other job. He hated it at PSG. You
And
can
look
see
at
he didn't like
Chelsea
it,
again.
and at Chelsea again. So if that's the thing, then he's not going to want that. He wants, look, he wants more autonomy over decisions.
Yeah, I think he does.
But I feel like as an actual manager, man manager at Manchester United, man management, you're absolutely right, Anton. Like he's the best at it. I've seen him do that at my own club. Bringing in youth and working with young players. He's even managed to do that at Chelsea with everything that's going on there. So for me, I think and the type of style he does play when it clicks, it is a style that United would like. It didn't click straight away at Tottenham. That took 2-3 months to get into it. And then he stumbled across Harry Kane and then all was well. But I do think that would have been a better fit for him at Manchester United or would still be a better fit than Chelsea ever would be. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know what Chelsea are doing with themselves now.
Just on West Ham,
It's lovely to see.
club, I just want to touch on West Ham again. Like if and when Lopetegui does come in, I'm excited, man. Like I really am. As much as I love David Moyes and what he done for our football club, I'm excited for something new. I'm looking forward to seeing how the lads react towards him, you know, and a different style in terms of personnel. Exactly, you just said it. He's a winner,
A legit winner, man.
you know. Not saying that David Moyes wasn't, because he was, because he won trophy, but just that different style. I just hope that he's coming and some of them young players are going to get opportunities this year. That's my biggest hope for the football club, is that some of the young boys who won the FA Youth Cup last year get opportunities, because there's some really, really good talent in that team.
Before we finish off, FA Cup final. Now,
You haven't got your glasses
I've been
on.
told...
Got no sunglasses on, nothing.
The sunglasses will only be on if we win. I've been told, obviously, you know, no chance in hell.
You don't believe it either, though.
You ain't going to win. You're going to get smashed.
How do you
Like, why are
feel?
you even turning up?
How do you feel about it?
Laughed at already. That's fine. Can we win it? Of course we can.
You don't even
Absolutely.
believe it. You're
Yes,
not
I
even
do.
saying it
Yes.
with
Yeah,
your
but
chest.
you know what? When he gets into this bag, they actually do all right. Let him go in this bag. Go
I
on.
know.
Take it away.
Listen. I support my club, yeah?
Yeah.
I support my team, yeah?
Cheers for the dig.
Well, I'm just saying. I wasn't digging. I'm just saying. Are the odds stacked against Man United? Of course they are. No, every game someone plays against City, the odds are stacked against them. I saw Real Madrid go to the Etihad and camp out, hardly have a touch, mate. Like, and that's Don Carlo and Real Madrid. So you have to pay them respect. It's Wembley. It's a final. And you know what? When you must...
You must.
When you must, like I said in the Liverpool one,
Are you giving that same spill?
was it the FA Cup when you lot was all laughing at me? Yeah, when you was all laughing at me, and I said, listen, when Man United must, you see funny things happen. And Eric Ten Hag, I'm telling you now, if he loses badly, could be curtains, mate. If he wins,
You must be hoping they lose badly then.
not necessarily. No, I'm not Abby. I want my team to win every game,
So you were digging.
especially a cup final.
So just to reiterate.
Now I am.
Just to reiterate.
Now I am.
He was digging.
No, I wasn't digging
He was
before.
digging.
But when he said you
It's
must want your
sad.
team to lose, it only reminded me of
What a
one
sad
person.
little life,
It
Lex.
only
What a
reminded
sad
me
little
of
life.
one person. Did
No,
you or did you not want your team to lose the other day?
Great to good.
Right, and I don't want my team
the
to lose
good
to the
of
great
this
good
nation.
because we are in a
God bless.
final and football is about
For the
trophies.
good of
It's
this
about winning
country.
things.
It is.
And I'm going to Wembley. I want my team to win.
Did you see that, Abby? He patted my shoulder when he said winning things. He didn't go over to yours because your team ain't won nothing.
Can you reach this high up the table?
Hey.
I mean, out of the three of us, I've had the best season. Don't know about you two, but I have technically.
Your season's over. Mine's still carrying on.
Till Saturday.
Your season was over a long
It's
time
alright.
ago when you decided to start supporting City.
Okay, well,
So,
well clearly not, because
Or Bayern.
then I won a league, didn't I?
Oh,
I won
right.
the
So
league.
you won the league then.
I won the league.
Yeah, there
Won
you
the
go.
league.
See, shameless.
Won the league, mate.
Shameless sums,
Double
mate.
S.
And just
but we
this one
can
here.
win.
Does anybody care that City won 4 in a row? I cared. Actually, I cared.
You care more than City fans.
I cared because they just do the Lord's work. Like, you know, City just
The
keep everyone
Lord's work,
in
you know.
check.
Ask her about some of the posts she's been posting this week as well, by the way.
What post?
From Sunday, mate. Honestly,
You would've
meme
seen
after
them.
meme for Arsenal. You'd think that her team won the league.
I will bring Joel that certificate, that second place certificate, because I feel like all Arsenal fans should have one, participation one. Yeah,
He does need one, to be fair.
he does. We'll get
Joel
it
needs
framed.
one.
We'll put it right here, so it's all
100%.
fresh for next season. We'll put it right here.
Shameless.
By the
summers.
way, guys,
Yeah.
before we finish, are you guys surprised that Xabi Alonso ain't getting spoken about coming to the Prem more than he is? I know that he said that he wants to stay with Leverkusen.
Yeah, I think he would have done. He would have gone Liverpool.
Yeah.
Innit? He would have come to one of the top
I
jobs.
think he's been smart though.
But,
He's not
yeah.
taking that Liverpool job
Smart.
after
just
Klopp.
said no. I've achieved everything here. I'm in the Champions League next year. Maybe wait for the Real Madrid job. Don Carlo and that. You know what I mean? Maybe one more year.
Do you know what? If he don't do this Invincibles and win the league, but has a stellar year like he would have done, I think he would have been at West Ham.
You think? Oh, if he didn't
If he
get
did-
to
oh,
these
I see.
levels.
If he didn't get to these levels,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
think this year he would have been at West
Yeah.
Ham.
But
Okay,
Mate,
right.
we'll never know.
We will
We'll
never
never
know.
know.
We'll never know.
Just because you're
We'll
anti
never
out and
know.
Pochettino, it's okay.
I'm not.
You know what I mean?
If you can find where I've said that, post it in this.
Should we get the transcript and
You
then
can
people can read
listen.
it and actually make their own mind up?
Andrew, whoever's doing the edit, you can post what I said in the group chat. I said Ange in. But Poch can come home whenever he likes as well. You'll never
Ange
find where I
does
said
one more
Ange
thing
out.
to piss her off.
Exactly.
That's it. Done.
Well, you know what?
Well, he
you
did
piss me
question
off
you.
weekly.
Whoa,
You're still here, aren't
He
you?
He questioned
You're still
There you
here.
go, mate.
He questioned
There you
you.
Who?
Ange
He can question me.
questioned
And he doubled down as well, mate.
Exactly.
In the second press,
and
they
I
all
can
thought he said
question
sorry.
him. I can
Mugs.
question him back. I can question him back.
Very Spursy.
Anyway.
Shall we wrap up?
Let's wrap up.
Let's wrap up.
Guys, take care. See you on the next episode of The Take On.
Peace.